Hey everybody, I'll give you a few minutes to join me here. We have a little time for question and answer. So channel members questions, super chats. Um, let's see how much voice I have. I did forget to bring a drink, so my voice gives out. That's just the way it goes. So I do want to start out just a little bit talking about Mercury coming into Libra. It's the first day that Mercury comes into Libra today. And this sets the stage for a period of time where conversations can be more cooperative and more centered around understanding and coming to agreements. There's a necessary give and take that goes on in Libra. And with Mercury there, this is everyday environments, everyday conversation. So it can make coming to conclusions, solving problems, coming to agreements, having conversations that benefit all of us. With Mercury and Libra, it's a really good energy. So yeah, coming out of the focus on the constituent component parts of things with Mercury and Virgo, and then having it sweeping into Libra, we can take the clues and the bits and pieces that we collected in Virgo and start to apply them in ways that enhance our relationship and the ability to cooperate with each other and ultimately foster agreements and everyday environments that are healthy for all involved. So, there's a focus on intensity in certain signs that Mercury goes through, focus on arrangement in certain signs that Mercury goes through. And when Mercury is going through air signs, it's very much in its element. So focus is on back and forth, communication, solving problems, finding solutions. So I do have a few announcements. My apprentice class, we are going into the module where we are going to be talking very much in depth about the aspects between planets. So like Sun-Moon aspects, Sun-Mercury aspects, Sun-Mars aspects, Moon-Mercury aspects, Moon-Venus aspects, all of it. We're going to be going through all of that. So if that's something that you're interested in, we're going to be flying through it rather quickly because we're going to be referring to the playlist that I have already completed and then adding to that with added discussion time. So we get double the lesson time. So if that's something you're interested in, then let me know at my website and I will put you into that group. Alrighty. So thank you, Fari. Do you have a question? Also, Synastry Group, we'll be starting that. And that's something that I think is just going to be an ongoing monthly module that we'll do until the end of the year. And we are going to be looking at various charts, Synastry and Composite. So it's a fun class because we get to look at contemporary people. We get to look at relationships that we see in the news or relationships that we're very aware of. So we can really get a sense of what is going on the inside. And it also answers a lot of questions regarding the origins of things and why things appear to be the way that they are between a couple. Where is that really coming from when it comes to the combinations and the individuals? So you're interested in that, let me know at my website. I'll put you into that group as well. And I am just doing question and answer today when it comes to member questions and whatever super chats may come in. I haven't made myself available to answer member questions in a while. Alrighty. Fari, you're a new guy and you have Venus conjunct Pluto. Any insights? So Venus conjunct Pluto. Is it in synastry or in the composite chart? If it is in synastry, then that's something that is linking to needs. The need for connection, romance, closeness, to have our material and sensual needs met, relationship needs, sensual stuff. That's Venus. And then the undercurrent of Venus, that's Pluto. Where we can deal with clinging or power issues, control, insecurity, stuff having to do with keeping, insurance. So that is a very, very intense connection to have. Anytime we have a personal planet in an aspect to somebody else's Pluto, the Pluto person is, depending on the aspect, if it's a hard aspect, the Pluto person is moved to gain some kind of upper hand. And you can see that in the charts of people that have Pluto very dominant with their inner planets. That's just their natural way. That's how they operate. If they're operating unconsciously or out of fear or control or insecurity or trust issues, we'll get that very protective plutonic behavior. So when we have Venus in a hard aspect of Pluto, and the conjunction is considered a hard aspect, the Venus person can be very much pulled in to the Pluto person's needs for security, safety. It's always going to be the inner planet person in synastry that is either an unwitting participant in the insecurity issues of the Pluto person, or sometimes a willing participant if we have Pluto stuff going on in our own chart. And it sounds like we do here. They both have a Venus-Pluto contact, and then Venus-Pluto are conjunct as well. So that is going to enhance the issues of dealing with each other out of passion or control or insecurity or intensity, because we're already primed for that. We already associate fear or intensity or peak experiences or trust issues with love when we have that conjunction, or any aspects between, hard aspects between Venus and Pluto. So that natal disposition is very much going to be borne out with this particular contact. So you want to see what that's turning into in the composite chart and see if it's a even bigger theme. All right, so let's see. So it's in Libra. Sorry. Okay. We're still going to have the search for intensity and the need for a deep merging and to have a transformation out of Our trust issues and that search for intensity or something that can be having you look for drama or for trauma and thinking that that is love or security. So you want to transform out of those power issues and lack paradigms and into safety, security, and the allowance for space. Let's see. SK Amanda, do planets in the fifth house enhance or restrict creativity? Absolutely enhance, unless it's Saturn. Saturn is a restrictor within that environment. That doesn't mean that we can't have a happy fifth house or good things happening or abundance happening within the fifth house. But if Saturn is ruling the fifth or in the fifth, there is a formality or a carefulness that we will approach the matters of the fifth house with. We may take romance more seriously, be more picky about partners, have smaller amounts of children. The things within the fifth house are going to be more controlled because we do have that influence of Saturn there. But other planets in the fifth house are always going to enhance creativity. Now, they could have hard aspects and be within the fifth house, and you're going to see the outcome of those hard aspects within that fifth house environment. That will be the trigger for those hard aspects to show up. But in itself, the fifth house is a fun place. All the fire houses are, the first, the fifth, the ninth. They are all places of dynamic activity and burning desire. Fun stuff. Okay. Catalina. Sorry. I can't hardly even see anything. I really do need to get like really super thick glasses just for this purpose. South Node in Saturn in Synastry. So anything at the South Node brings a familiar quality to it. And when we have Saturn contacts to the South Node, often Pluto contacts to the South Node as well, we do associate that with a karmic connection, familiarity. We could say that that is something that would occur with a past life connection. The South Node is the karma that we bring into the world. And when we have somebody's Saturn at our South Node, it does not inspire a great deal of change. There is going to be more of a repetition of the themes of the South Node that is there. But South Node contacts are very similar to Moon contacts in that this is our comfort zone. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to have South Node contacts. Some astrologers really disparage that. But I don't think that it's a bad thing to have points of familiarity or of previous connection if you have other things going on that are inspiring growth and that are creating forward motion. You know, relationships have a variety of layers to them. So South Node contacts, are fine in Synastry most of the time, but there is a repetition that will happen there. Again, it is what it is. It's not necessarily bad. It just is what it is. Let's see. Um, I'm trying to see. I have like aging eyes. Am I 25? Hell no, I'm twice that. I'm 50. Just turned 50. Amanda, what if the planets are in a Saturn ruled sign? So in the fifth house, and they're ruled by Saturn. So if they're in Capricorn, that is quality to things, because things coming through a sign that Saturn is the boss of are going to act in response to that influence. Just like when we work for a company or uh, anybody, um, the boss that we work for, that very much sets the tone for the culture of that particular workplace. And that would be Saturn in this case. So there is going to be that carefulness and that more magnified approach to things. Mm-hmm. All right. Hold on. Sorry. 1 second. Let me find your question. If we don't have the same perspective, he's normal Anglican Christian and you follow teachers like Eckhart Tolle. Does this mean my needs for connection won't be fulfilled? It depends on what your priorities are. For some people, it's very important to them that they share spiritual outlook or philosophical or religious perspective. People on the spiritual path often envision a mate or a partner that will be a part of that. But it depends on what's important to you, what your priorities are, what you're looking for in a relationship, because not any one person is going to meet everything. We can find somebody or people that are close, that do have a lot of what we're looking for, and maybe even some things we didn't even know what we were looking for. But we have to really prioritize what is most important to us and realize that there is no perfect other that is going to fulfill every need that we have. So if you are somebody that is happy to have different ideological perspectives within a relationship, maybe that isn't gonna be a big deal for you. But if you want somebody that is very much of the same mind and is looking for the same things in terms of uh, you know spiritual experience, spiritual growth, then that may be a deal breaker for you, because there could be some very different ideas about happiness and morality, and sometimes we have to spend time investigating this in relationships. We have to see how different are those perspectives and opinions, and is it something that we think isn't going to bother us, but we see over the course of time it really is, or vice versa. Um, Sometimes we have to try it on. Usually that's going to be the case in relationships, unless we know from the outset that it's a non-negotiable thing or a deal breaker for us. Okay. You're welcome, Amanda. Okay, Michael, I'm going to answer a question because I'm so happy to answer this question. I love the answer to this question. With Pluto going direct and then finally out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, can we expect big, more open changes? Yeah, yeah, because Pluto has come back into the sign of institutions, um, tradition, the system, for one last middle finger to it all. And also one last direct square to my moon. God, it's over November 19th. Who else has a moon at 29 degrees and a hard aspect to Pluto? Yeah, join the crap club. It's one of the worst aspects. Oh, and in conjunct to my sun at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be over November 19th. All of us that have planets at those later degrees, 28, 29 degrees, we're going to be so happy. But then there's others that have planets at 0 or 1 or 2 degrees, and difficult signs to Aquarius that will be receiving a hard transit and the difficult transformation that comes with that in conjunction to my ascendant. It never ends. That's not an unusual thing with outer planets. That it's not unusual in a lifetime to have significant, more long-term transits from outer planets that will bring significant transformations between 3 and 5 year periods of time. So, with Pluto going into Aquarius, it does come out of the sign of breaking up what's concrete and coming into fueling what is social, what is progressive, what is more equal. So we are taking back power more as a world population from the powers that be or traditional sources that have held it. And so it's becoming redistributed over this 20-year period of time. Exciting stuff. Amanda. Oh, okay. I think I got it. I got it. Oh, am I somebody's crush? That's sweet. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Catalina. You've got a lot going on in terms of intense aspects and the search for self in your chart. It sounds like you're definitely not going to let that go until you get to the bottom of things. Astrology serves us well. Okay. Laura, do I think hard aspects from Neptune are also almost impossible to overcome in a friendship type of relationship? No, easier in a friendship than a romantic relationship because it doesn't come with the type of romantic projection or assumption or idealization that's going to come with a romantic experience. In a friendship, we may over-evaluate each other or over-forgive or even support some behaviors that might be weakening, but it can be overcome. Yeah. We have to really embrace unconditional love with Neptune, when we're really, really living the evolved side of Neptune. It's about unconditional love, a lack of expectation. And really channeling universal love through us to an individual. We can definitely get the best out of that, even in a friendship. Alrighty. I don't know how to do the super chat from here. I have done it on other videos before. So it may be something you have to look around for. Oh, Amanda's giving you a clue. She says you have to tap the money sign. It may be that it's different on different devices. Yeah, Hermes, absolutely. Unconditional self-love to attract the love of your life. Absolutely. Put yourself first and love yourself correctly. Do right by yourself. Have compassion for yourself. Take care of yourself. Absolutely. That puts you in the frequency and the path of real love, because that will be reflected in someone else. Don't ever accept breadcrumbs. Don't ever accept half love. Don't accept someone that comes into the relationship unhealed. Now, people are not going to come to you perfect. That's unreasonable. But they should be healed enough to be able to connect with you emotionally and to be able to maintain equilibrium and trust within a relationship. That's not too much to expect. So, yeah, we have to love ourselves correctly in order to be loved correctly and to love others correctly. It all starts with you. And you cannot, you can't fake that lesson. You can't start with what's outside of you. You can't cheat. Can't cheat the universe. You have to do the work. Yeah, Hermes, yeah, absolutely. You've been meditating on what unconditional self-love is. It is a beautiful feeling. It's acceptance. We don't act out of shame. We don't hide anymore. We don't accept what we know is unhealthy or dishonoring, even if it means that you can't be with who it is that you would choose to love. If you're not being chosen in the same way, if someone isn't choosing you the way that you're choosing yourself, you will not be able to tolerate that situation. If you really, really do value yourself, it will keep you out of all kinds of heartbreaking and self-abandoning, unhealthy situations. Yeah, we've got to love ourselves first, or we can't accept what's good for us. Michael, I'll take this one last question here. When Venus finally leaves Pisces, will our illusions be moved through if we have learned well? No, not necessarily. It depends. Well, if you've learned well, then that will be a step in the right direction when it comes to clarity. When Neptune moves into Aries, that's a very forward, direct, um, impulsive energies. Nothing like Pisces or how Neptune naturally is. So, yeah, if we've evolved, that can definitely push us in the right direction. If we've not evolved, then we may act on our illusions in an even more impulsive and infantile way when Neptune goes into Aries. It just depends on where we are when it comes to our choices and our personal evolution. Okay, so I think that's all I've got when it comes to member questions and super chats. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, let me know at the bottom. I am starting to run out of voice, as you can tell. Alrighty, so I'll wrap up for today. I will stop in. I don't know if I'll stop in this weekend. I do have a busy weekend. I have a few things planned. But we will see. I might be able to catch. No, Friday. I also actually have a lot of work on Friday. Probably going to have to catch up with you Monday. But I will answer another question and answer session. We haven't done these in a while, so it's good to catch up with you guys. So, in any case, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the daily astrology weather forecast. And if you are interested in any of my ongoing courses, let me know at my website. Ongoing aspects course, synastry courses beginning. We're just wrapping up our transits course, but that is available as a playlist. And my study groups, I'm not really sure about that. I know there's a lot of people interested in those. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to run that in the coming year. But for now, if you're interested in studying with me, there are a few options available. And yeah, working through the aspects course playlist right now is actually extremely fascinating module because we get to spend time specifically on aspects between all of the planets. So if there's something you're interested in, if you have like a Mars Jupiter aspect or Sun Pluto aspect or a Mars Venus aspect, you may want to pop in at least for that particular lesson on that particular day. So I will see you guys super soon. Bye bye.